mindset, but if you don't mind, because it's important that people know, you know.
Well, I wouldn't mind, like having a picture or something put in the register that came from Wick Bikes.
Yeah. And if you've got, do you have a picture of him? Because I'd like to put it up at the collective. If we can get a copy of you and him, maybe a family photo or something like that, or him with bikes.
Nice photo from your anniversary.
Yeah.
That 50th. It was 50th, right?
Because this is amazing. I mean, I don't know how many bikes there are, but this is going to make a lot of people happy. We're taking to the Boys and Girls Club, and there's Boys and Girls members who are going to learn skills. I mean, there are a lot of people who go through life and their bottom line knack is being able to be biking.
This is what, me and the kids have always told him, put a load of them on the trailer and take them down there on the southeast bike and put free bikes to the kids. Well, he thought because they didn't run right, that you probably, when you was a kid, you probably fixed your bike.
Darn right. Yeah, you needed a screwdriver and a pair of pliers.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, you had a Phillips screwdriver.
And he always said, "Yeah, I should," but it was just something he never got to,
Yep. And the beauty of it is that we've managed to tap into big corporations and foundations that have a lot of money who are they're helping fund this thing through the collective. That this is why we exist, and it's to teach people how to do this. It's not just giving them bikes. Like the Variety Club, God love them, they get bikes, that they buy cheap and give the kids. But if you just give a kid a bike, well, they'll ride it maybe, but if it breaks down, they won't know what to do.
I was going to say even kids. I remember my brother got his first bicycle, and the first thing he wanted to do was take it apart and see how it was put together. And Glenn told the same story, that he went down the hill and wrecked his bike and skinned his arm.
Yeah.
His dad told him, he says, "You look worse than the bicycle does."
Yeah.
But he always liked to take them apart and put them together and do things like that, I think, it keeps the kids occupied at home instead of going out and getting in trouble.
Yep.
Gives them something to do. So.
Yep. And I've worked as a public defender for a number of years and have a lot of clients that for various reasons lose their driving privileges. And a lot of them are dope fiends or alcoholics or whatever. And well, how do I get to work? Well, I said, I just rode 20 miles to get here. Or I just rode, I ride 50 miles a day or whatever. Get a bike and ride it.
And right now.
That's right.
A lot of people are going back to their bicycles.
That's right. And I've always said, or at least I have for a long time, bikes are my drug of choice. Yeah. What am I trying to say here? And it's true. If you can get a person hooked on bikes, they're going to live longer, they'll be healthier, and they'll maybe stay out of the system. So,
there's a lot of people that knows that these garages were all full of bicycles.
Yeah.
It would be kind of nice to publicize and let them know it wasn't just junk.
Yeah.
It went for a good purpose.
Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure, but we're going to turn this treasure into a lot of people's treasure. I'm so happy, for you and your kids.
I hope you got a place to put them.
We do. It's amazing. I mean, when I came out here the first time, a month ago or so, I couldn't believe it. I looked into the windows and I thought, oh my God, there are so many bikes here. And it's just a matter of cleaning them up, making them run, and we may be able to salvage half or more of these bikes to good rideable bikes. And they're kids and grown-ups. The stories that I've heard from people who have contacted me, they tear my heart apart. People who have had strokes or heart attacks or brain injuries or whatever, and they can't walk, but the doctor says they can ride a bike.
Yeah, and Glenn got a lot of calls. We got a lot of calls at the bike shop for, I want an old bicycle. Not a new one. They didn't want all the brake levers and stuff. They wanted an old bicycle.
Exactly. And like this bike right here, this Columbia racing bike, when I look at that, I look at the frame, and think, I'm going to strip it down and have it made just a single speed bike with a coaster brake, so it weighs maybe 25 pounds, but you don't have to worry about shift levers or brake levers or any of that kind of stuff. You just ride it, you stop and go. And all these bikes, this bike here with fenders, that's perfect. We'll take off the derailleur, which is already gone, leave the brakes, maybe put a coaster brake on it, maybe leave hand brakes, but people need to be able to ride bikes in crappy weather because we have a lot of it, and so these bikes will have the life that they deserve, Wow.
Yeah, and then, of course, Glenn didn't, he thought if there was a little something wrong with it, no, I don't have one.
Yeah, yeah.
They need fixed up, and he didn't. He's busy with the other ones, so he never had time to. This was a dream. One of these days, he's going to fix them up.
Well, it's going to happen because where we're located downtown, you're right in the heart of the city. There's street people, there's YMCA people, there's folks that are now moving to town and can't afford cars, or they can't afford to park cars or whatever, or don't need cars that need bikes. And so we're gonna see to it that what he thought will actually happen. And I'm just so happy that they found the right home. It's like everybody's picked over it, and we've got the bones, and we're gonna make nice stuff out of them. So.
When he started his bike shop, if anybody had something in the garage
Uh-huh.
they didn't want, they called and of course at the end we had to start saying no thanks.
Yeah, it's hard to do that, isn't it? Remind me of your name. Tell me your name again. Crystal. Crystal. Thanks so much. I got to get going on this stuff because I'm starting to feel real guilty about not helping out. I love delegating. Don't get me wrong. I'm perfectly happy staying in here watch other people work, But they would probably, maybe they're happier that I'm down here out of the way. Who knows? Anyway, but thanks. I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry about the delay, but life is full of
Things
interest.
happen.
It does. They do. Thanks.
So they found the vehicle in the cemetery?
Parked right by the cemetery, and the guy who was the Good Samaritan who was chasing him talked with him, because he was there in the truck and presumably making arrangements for somebody to come and pick him up, because Runnels is the address, but he lived not too far away from where he ran into us, and then he called in and reported that his truck had been stolen, and it just amazes me how stupid people can be,
You're a public defender,
I know.
I've heard some story when I worked at the clinic with Bob.
Yeah.
Rigg.
Yeah.
I've heard some of the stories his clients come up with.
And it never stops. It never stops. So, all right. Well, anyway, I'm going to get to work. But Crystal, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for taking them.
Oh, I'm delighted. This will get us going. And I agree. Old bikes are the best. This is our logo here. An old bike is a good friend, and that's what it's all about.
There's still more in there.
I was going to say, do we get those? Because
Oh yeah, we just didn't bring them out because we were running out of room.
I'm salivating at these things. These are some wonderful bikes.
There's one that I found over here that I had never seen. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember the way I was too. It has a stick.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Woo! This little bike here is going to raise us several $100s. Oh my God! All right. Well, I better.
1970 bicycle
Yeah,
races.
yeah. That's what it would be because it's got the narrow monkey bars on it, and there's stuff in here too.